Okay, hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ben and today we're going to proceed with part 2 of ASP.NET Mpesa integration. And today this video will be split into possibly 2 or 3 episodes. The first one we're going to register the URLs, probably 2. The second one we're going to save the responses to our database. Okay, so let's start by revisiting what we did. So last time we were able to get the access token and we were able to return the result, but as you know, this access token is not used anywhere on our front end, neither is it required, but we need it for all our HTTP requests to the Mpesa endpoint, right? And the API that we're going to use today, which is register URL, first of all, before we start, it usually has challenges with returning responses, and so when we reach at that point where we'll be processing the responses, if it will not be working, we'll use our own Postman. We'll send it through Postman, okay, to the endpoint, and then we'll process it, and it will work when you're doing it on a live system. So what I'm going to do today is I want to now extract the access token from this response, and from someone, I don't have so much experience on this ASP.NET, but I have looked at it so well, and I've realized that it's very close to TypeScript, such that every time you want to do something, you have to have models, you have to have interfaces, and all that. And so for us to be able to get the access token from this Mpesa response, we need, in ASP is known as a model, and a model is basically the description of this of the response. What do we expect from, or what do we have on this response, and how do we extract it? So I'm not going to create a new file. I'm just going to create our model here. Not public class, it's class. Sorry, I forget these things. So it's class, and this class is, we're going to give it a name, and the name we're going to give it is maybe extract, or you can just call it token, like this. So this class is a model. This model is supposed to describe the properties of this response that we're expecting. And the first thing we need to have, or the response that we're getting from Mpesa, is a string, which is now the access token, and we'll just express it the way it is, like that. And we'll use the, I'm not sure that there are constructors in setters and getters. I'm not sure that it's the same from what I know from other languages, but we have to set it like that. We also have public string, and this is expires. We'll run this and then we'll see how, or what I mean by this. So here we have get and set. One of them is not necessary, but I'm just using it, but we'll discuss them later. We just need one method here. I think it is just set. We don't need any other. Yeah, we need the two because we'll still be getting them. Yeah, so we have now the token, like that. So before we do a lot, let me run this so that now we can be able to get the access token first, so that you can understand what I'm saying. So I'll open this one. That's good. So we have this. So I'm going to, perfect. So we have these two. Actually it expires in, but you can as well set it just expires, no problem. But let's have it here, expires in. Okay, the next thing we need to do now is to convert this response to this object, so that now we can be able to access the access token as we want. And to do that, we'll need to use a converter. It's called Json Converter. So let's do it. So we'll go here and say var token. Okay, we just want to ensure that we've casted it on that object, so we'll have to use it token, and we'll say token object is going to be JSON convert JSON convert this library that we need so that we can be able to use Json Convert. And we need this. So I'm going to go to package manager. No, I don't package reference here. Copy this. Going to have it inside here. So once we have it inside the item group, we can now click restore, and what this restore happens is going to install this one. So when you go back and you click here, it will ask you to use Newton software, as you can see here, right? So you do that, and what will happen is that it's going to add this it's called a is it a NuGet or a nugget? A NuGet, right? All right, a NuGet, we have it now. Now we want to deserialize. So we have that dot deserialize object. We want to use this one with a dependency here, and what we're going to do is we're going to pass the token class so that everything will be inside there, and we'll pass in our Mpesa response like that. So when we return the token object, we can actually just do this. See, we're able to now access the properties inside this. Also, if you do this, you can see we have expires in, we have tokens. I want you to do token like that and rerun it. Let's go back, wait for it. We have errors. Where do we have errors? Okay, let's stop it and restart it, right? So here we are, and I've said we just go to home and get token. So it's going to be home / get token like that, and this one will now give us a token. If we reload this, we're going to get a different token, as you can see. So it means we are now able to access the token, right? Perfect. So the next part is now register URL. So I'm going to do register URL here, and this one I want to include both front end and back end. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to use the home one. So I'm just going to do a new file, and I'll say register urls.cshtml like that. And I'm going to copy what we have on our index to this one. Then I'm going to change this title here to register URL. Welcome to register URLs. Then I'm going to change this from display 4 to something like, I'm not sure that we have display 6, I don't know. Then I'm going to delete this, so we can have a div. We can have a button with register URL, and here we'll have an ID of register, and I want to give this something like a card, class card body. It's going to be actually card and card body, so you can have it with a spacing, right? Then below it, I want to have just another div dot card like that. Is going to have an ID of response or feedback. And this is card body. Card body like that. So we have a button. So this button, let me give it a class, which is going to be btn primary. Good one, right? So let's go again to layout and add that to the links. So I'm going to delete this link. We're not going to have a link for privacy. I'm going to change this to register URL, same as the name of the controller. So let's create it first. So I'm going to have public, and what do you want here? We want to return an I action event, an I action result, correct? And this is going to be register URLs. Let me do URLs like that. And here we're just going to do return view. So what will happen is that it will look for this file. So let's make sure it's like that. So the spelling is the same, must be the same. So register URLs, return the view. So it will go to this view. And what did I want with this view? Class button. Okay, yeah, I was on a layout, and I wanted to access this action. So we go to layout, and the SP action is that one, and here just say register URLs like that. So this will be on our menu. So let's reload this and go back and remove this one. Perfect. So now you can see we have home, and we have now register URLs, and register URLs has this button which right now cannot do anything, and we have a body here. So let me go back here, and on this one let me give it imagine bottom of 5, so you can have some spaces, some spacing. So let's see how it looks. Let me close these. Register URLs, perfect. So we have these and we have this. Okay, now the next thing, I want to create this. I want to have a JavaScript file that will call the register URL, which I want to create another method here. I'll show you. So we want to have this one that will send a GET request to our endpoints or to our controller and make that request. So to do that, or to add our JavaScript, I need to go to www.root, I need to go to JS, and this is a global script accessible to our project. And looking at what we have, we also have jQuery, so you can just confirm whether you have jQuery actually. So you can just do like this, and if you have jQuery, we want just to alert that jQuery loaded. Okay, so I'm using this one. You can see we have jQuery here. So inside libs, and I'm coding on my site. So I'm going to go here and reload it, and you can see jQuery loaded. So it means we have jQuery, so we can use it. So let's go here, and because we have jQuery, let's listen for to the click on this button, which is register, right? And on register, so on click event, what we want to do, we want to first of all prevent the default action, which is like reload or anything, or just some weird button events. Next thing, actually let me just make this async, because we're going to send register URL requests, and that one is going to be an async. I'm going to have my response here, which is now a response from our controller, and I'm going to use what we call fetch. So fetch, and this fetch can do two things. We can have a URL called home register URLs like that, or we can just have it as register URLs, which is what I'm thinking in my mind, and I'll show you how we are going to do that. Next, nothing else we need from that, so that will be okay. It will just do a fetch, and then we'll wait for the results. So we'll have our response, which is going to be a wait again, and we're going to get it from this .json like that. And once we have it, let us console log it, response, like that. That's okay. And so let's just reload. Now when we're writing JavaScript, we don't need to reload the server, but when you alter with the controllers, we need to do that. So if we go back here and go to networking tab, this URL is not available, right? So let's reload it, and let me now do that. You can see we are getting 404, and the endpoint that we're hitting is /register URLs. Okay, so let's now create that endpoint on our controller here. So I'm going to have another controller here, which is public, and this is going to be an async task. Now we are registering the URL, so put your attention here now. So public async, any async request is a task, and this task I want it to return a JSON result, like that. And this is now register Mpesa URLs. I'm very happy that I've said we are registering register Mpesa URLs. Now, because we don't want to access this route manually, I'm going to now use an HTTP verb here, which is get, and I'm also going to use something else that is provided. I'm sure most of you have seen it, and this one is going to be register URLs, like that. Okay, so once we have it, actually, yeah, I think that's okay. So maybe we can return something like, or we can just do var x is equals to await. Okay, let's not do that first. So let's just return I'm thinking whether we should do that right now or not. So let me first of all remove this, so that now we can test whether our endpoint is working. Okay, so we're going to do register URLs, and we're going to return JSON, and this JSON is going to be okay, like that. We'll get this request we need to do here is by action result. So that's what we can return, because we need to return something. Okay, so we just want to return HTTP 200. Okay, so let me reload this again. Let's go to our endpoint here. So it will keep on launching. I have not set for it not to launch a new URL, but I'll stop it. But for now, let's just test. So you click this one, and you see now we get 200. So meaning everything is okay. So you can see the status code is 200. So we're able to reach our register URL endpoints by using this route. Now you remember we were supposed to do home register URLs, okay? But now we have not, because we have altered how we're going to receive this response here. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let me now undo this, so that now we can do with our JSON result, like that. Great. Now, let's go to Mpesa API, because this is where our class is based on. Let me log in. You'll notice that they have a different kind of implementation. It's a different HTTP client. I'm not using that. I'm using just the inbuilt one. So maybe in future we can try to see that. But today I'm going to work on that. So I'm going to click on register URL, and let me zoom this website in. I want us to be able to see clearly. So we need to pass these few things here, and that is what do you call it? The validation URL. We also need to have confirmation URL, response, and our shortcode, right? So these will also go to this endpoint. Remember, we already have this on our named client, and all we need to do is now to just append this on our URL and send, right? Okay, let me adjust my seat. Great. Now let's go back here, and what we need to do is first of all to make a class or a JSON object for us to be able to do that. Okay, so let's create a JSON object. So I'll just do var JSON body is going to be again to use the JSON convert. Remember, we used it up here, JSON convert. So we're going to use it here now again. So Json convert, which is this guy here, dot serialize, Json convert, sorry, convert, convert dot serialize object. Perfect. What do you want to serialize? We want to serialize our body. Okay, so I'll do new, and this is the object. Let me remove the term object here, it will spoil the broth. So you have that one, SP. All right, so you have this. So this is now the object that we need, and to be able to use it, so we have to go to this. So we need validation URL, put it there, and say this is going to be HTTPS. I'm just going to put anything right now. Okay, my demo url.com/confirmation. Confirmation. I'm not going to put the correct URL here because this video, as I've said, is split into two. Okay, so this one is just for us to be able to see that we can make this request, and then the next video will now make this request and now process it. So we'll also have the backend to consume this and save to the database. Okay, so let me continue. So we have our confirmation URL here. So again, I'm just going to copy this, put it here, and this I'll call it validation. Okay, from there we need the third item, which is response type, and there are just two types. We need completed or cancelled, so but we'll take completed. We don't want to collect information about failed transaction, right? So we'll do that. Next, we need our shortcode. Where do we get our shortcode? I'll show you in a moment. Our shortcode is going to be, let's go back here, let's click drop down, then we have our shortcode here, which is 600 and 998. So put it right there. Great. Now we have our body, but this is still not yet the correct format of JSON that we would want. So let's now convert this again now to JSON string. Okay, so I'm going to again have var JSON ready. Let me just call it ready body. So this is ready to send. Okay, which is going to be new. We're going to use what we call string content, another class, or another is basically a class from, this is supposed to be system or something, I'm not sure. And then now here we're supposed to pass three things. The first one is our body as a string, which is JSON body dot to string, right, like that. Next, we need to send the encoding, to add the encoding here so that we can encode it the way it's supposed to be. So this is going to be encoding. Let me remove these suggestions. Encoding dot UTF-8 like that. And if this encoding is not working the way we should, it means we need to bring another using. See here. So we need to do system.text or system.encoding, but let's use this system.text, this one. So that will fix that problem. And the last thing we need to do here is to pass the content type, and I'm going to say this is going to be application, they call it the meme type, right, like that. So once we have that, our body now is ready to be sent, but we still need one more thing. Which one? We need our access token, which is this guy here, right? So let's create our token. So we'll come here and say var token is equals to get, which is an async function, so we need to do await get token, like that. So we now have even the token. Okay, we now have the token. We're still getting this error because we're not returning anything, and we're going to get there very soon. Perfect. Next step, we're now going to use, remember our named client, we need to bring it back, we need to bring it. So let me go where we have it. So we have our client here. I'm going to copy this guy. Perfect. So this is our named client. Was there, is there, will always be there, right? Next, we need to add now our authorization here on this client on default headers. So we're going to do client dot default request headers. You see this? Perfect. If you can see it, then we need to do add, and then what are we adding? We are adding our authorization. Okay, so we do authorization, and what is our authorization here? It's going to be, if you hear I'm not talking, I'm giving you a chance to say it. So it's going to be bearer, and we are going to pass our token inside here. So token momentum, right? Now our client is ready. The next thing we now to do is to bring in the endpoint, which is our URL, which is going to be, as I said, we had it on our endpoint here. So I'm going to copy this up to here. Awesome. So bring it here. Great. Then we now need to send this request. Very nice. So we are this close to finishing. Okay, so we do response. So we do response. It's going to be await. We bring in our client dot post async. Okay, so post async, because we need to send a post request. And once we do that, we need to pass two things. The first one is the URL, and the second one is the content. So we have the two of them. So we have the URL, and we also have the content, which is JSON body ready, like that. Good. Now we are on our way to finish finishing this thing. So once we have that, let's now see what we have here. So I'm going to do return await, and I'm going to do response dot content dot get. Do I do get? Let me just read string async, like that. We'll still throw an error. Reason, because what we had said here, we said we are going to return a JSON result, but I will change this for this moment and just say I'm going to return a string. What will that do? It will clear the error that we have here. Okay, and now we have our body already set. So it starts from here all the way to here. Let me zoom it out a little and see whether we are able to see. Yes, like that. So this is everything that we have. So we have this get request, we are sending to this route, and is a task, an async task for registering the URLs. We prepare our body, convert it to JSON format. We get our access token, and we declare our named client, add authorization, which is now bearer because we already got the token, right? And then now we have our endpoint, and we send that request as a post request, and we get the response back. Now I'll click reload this and go back to our URLs here. Let me delete this again. We have this guy, so let me do this. Remember we had said console.log, right? We had said console.log, but you can also do like this. You can say was it feedback? So ID feedback is going to be HTML, and we're going to give it response, like that. And I'm not sure whether this response is still in JSON form, but I think it is string, so it will be possible for us to see it. So I'll reload this, go to register URLs, click register URLs. I want you to look at here, and you can see we have successfully registered our URLs, right? You can see success. Let's show it here. So this is feedback HTML response. So let me look at that it is ID feedback. Why is it not showing? Feedback like that. Do it. It is not showing on our HTML. I think we'll have to re-render this. Let me see, HTML response. That's okay. So that we can be able to see the whole action happening, we are going to change the button text. So we're going to do dot text here, say please wait, like that, and we can chain it, not disable but attribute. You can do attribute disabled. Here you can just do true. Copy this. After we get our response, can change the text back to register URL. Then this can be remove attribute, disabled. Okay, so let's reload this, run it, perfect. And when we get the response back, we get this one. So remove attribute is not jQuery. Let me try it here again. So I'm going to do remove. Okay, no problem. So let's just do attribute attr. Is it remove attribute or remove attr? I'm not sure. It's like this. jQuery people, is it? Do you do like this? I'm not sure, but we'll see. So let me reload this again. Probably this will need to go. Register URLs, click register. Done, great. Yeah, it's remove attr, perfect. So something I'm not seeing is our feedback with our response. We are not able to see it, but this is JSON. Okay, so if it's JSON, then it means this one needs to be JSON.stringify. JSON.stringify, that one. Let's run it. Perfect. Yeah, you can see it was returning an object. That's why it was not displaying here. So we have our register URL responses here. And that now marks the first bit of this one. The next part is now testing the payment. Now you know you have already registered the URL. Now we need to pay and receive that response in order, and save it to our database, right? I said I'm not going to take chances on ASP.NET. It's a very nice language. I've loved it. It's actually one of the languages I'm considering now in future to start using. But so far, as you can see, so good, right? So we're able to make our requests. We're able to extract our token here, and the next class is just going again to be very, very simple. So I hope you have learned something. If you have, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, and I'm begging you for the love of Christ. I'm requesting you to subscribe anyway. Yeah, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and let's build a strong community around software developers in Kenya by supporting each other. Yeah, so let's meet in the next video and we'll look at the next step.